on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Canadian Heritage Minutes, which are these awesome 1 minute long videos that highlight important people and moments throughout Canadian history. And today, I am continuing my journey watching all of the Canadian Heritage Minutes. I have currently watched 12 out of 99 99 of these episodes of Heritage Minutes. It's actually amazing when I think about it. The whole idea of these Heritage Minutes and actually making them, and that there's this collection of like historical moments all about Canada. I love the whole idea of the Heritage Minutes. I think that's an awesome idea. And today we are going to start off by looking at the liberation of the Netherlands. Oh my gosh, I did a video a little while back about this topic. I actually had no idea about any kind of like military operations that Canada has ever done. This is something that here in the United States we never have learned about, is the sort of military history and conflict history of Canada and the role that Canadian armed forces have played in history. It's not something we ever are taught here in America, and I think it deserves a lot of attention. So I'm actually really glad they made a Heritage Minute about this topic. That's awesome, actually. Liberation of the Netherlands. So, in the final months of the Second World War, Canadian forces were given the important and deadly task of liberating the Netherlands from Nazi occupation. And it's an amazing story. I learned a bit about it, and actually how, like, there are still to this day, like, people who, in the Netherlands, like, they celebrate this to this day. And there are Canadians who were directly involved in this that are alive still to this day. This happened in 1944, 1945, so they would be almost about 80 years old now, and that's incredible. And just seeing some of the footage of how thankful and impactful this was to a lot of people in the Netherlands, this is really a really amazing story. 1944, 1945, the 1st Canadian Army fought German forces, opening the port of Antwerp for Allied use, cleared northern and western Netherlands of Germans, allowing food and relief to reach millions of people. This is a really, really special event, and I am happy and not shocked that they made a Heritage Minute about this. I'm so glad they did. I'm interested to see what this Heritage Minute is gonna be, actually.
We fought our way through Italy and then headed for Amsterdam, sweeping for Germans along the way. Our worst fear was to catch a bullet in these last hours of the war.
Whoa, okay. So this is a really intense approach. They're actually literally showing you the battlefield, which I think is good, you know? Because it's one thing to read the description and be like, oh, Canadian forces lost their lives and put themselves in harm's way to help liberate the Netherlands. And then there's a totally other thing. It's a totally other thing to see it on the screen, reenacted even. So I actually like this quite a bit. I don't like the fact that they're talking about being terrified of dodging bullets, but I like the emphasis and to highlight this moment and make it very real.
Germans along the way. Our worst fear was to catch a bullet in these last hours of the war.
Yeah.
I was 15 when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. More than 100,000 Dutch Jews never came home.
Wow.
Our men were put into forced labor. By 1945, we were starving.
Wow, and they're showing the Netherlands point of view. People who live in the Netherlands and their point of view. This is a very, very nice way to approach this. It makes it even kind of more impactful. Yeah, all right, let's keep going.
The food drops gave us hope. And then the Canadians came.
The Canadians.
Before Amsterdam, I couldn't have explained why we were there, all those years away from home. But the Dutch showed us why it mattered.
Wow.
Papa wanted me to bring some soldiers home to thank them personally. And that's when I first saw Wilf. And I invited him over that afternoon.
Wait, what? Hey, what's going on? What's going on here? I didn't know this was gonna turn into some kind of love story? Some kind of romance movie? Okay, why not? It's just not that. It's just not what I expected. Okay, that's actually really cool. If this is a true story, I didn't know they were gonna throw a love story in here with a Canadian soldier and a Dutch woman who's like being helped, and she invites him over. Okay, well, let's keep going.
Them personally. And that's when I first saw Wilf. And I invited him over that afternoon.
Marguerite Blaise married Lieutenant Wilf Gildersleeve. They moved to Vancouver, where they raised 8 children. Today, the Dutch still remember the Canadians who liberated them.
No kidding. What the heck? That took a turn. That's kind of nice. That was kind of wholesome. What the heck? Suddenly she was like, I wanted to take him home with me. And I was like, what? Like, what are we getting at here? And then it's like, they're married. Okay, that's a true story. That's awesome. Good for them. Okay, that went from really dark, like battlefield and war, to 2 star-crossed lovers meeting each other and moving to Vancouver. What more could you ask for? This is a really great heritage moment, actually. Maybe one of my favorites, just because of that twist. But that's actually, these are real people. That's a part of history. That's really cool. And just, of course, like I said, emphasizing this whole conflict. The role that Canadians played in the liberation of the Netherlands, again, is a story that's just not known here in the United States. I'd never heard of it. And I guess it's not shocking because, you know, here in the US, we do tend to focus on American accomplishments. So I'm glad to take another look at that. And this was kind of a different angle learning about this. That was great. All right, next we have Chanie Wenjack. Chanie Wenjack. Charlie Wenjack, born 1954. Anishinaabe? Oh, I'm definitely butchering this. I'm definitely not pronouncing this correctly. My apologies. Anishinaabe. A boy from Ontario ran away from his residential school near Kenora at age 12 and died from hunger and exposure to the harsh weather. The residential school. It's it's funny because a lot of these heritage minutes actually relate to videos I've done in the past. So I kind of know what we're talking about. And then this heritage moment kind of like hammers home some of the details for me. I've heard residential school when I learned about Canada's Day for Truth and Reconciliation and Native Canadians and how they were mistreated or children taken from their families and put into residential schools. And so this is a story about Charlie, who ran away from the residential school where they gravely mistreated them, the children, at age 12, and he died from hunger and exposure. I had read about this. I'm remembering now. And now I'm afraid we are going to see it depicted in video. But, like I say, you know, with the first video, you don't necessarily want to see video recreations of war and now a 12-year-old running away and dying. But at the same time, it's good to confront it and acknowledge these things and pay respect and learn. So from that point of view, let's check it out, the story of Charlie Wenjack. Okay, this is Cecilia Jeffrey Residential School, 1966. Okay. There he goes. So he's...
Johnny wanted to go back home. It was 1,000 kilometers away.
1,000 kilometers away from home. Man, this is so sad. Oh my God. So he's one of the kids who literally just tried to run away from the residential school after getting taken away from his home and put in the school. I know they severely mistreated them, like at in other respects, mistreated them, like didn't feed them, abused them, verbally, physically, stuff like that. Okay, so he's running away, and he's trying to run 1,000 kilometers home. He's got some spirit, my God. But I already read that he's gonna die trying.
I wanted to go back home. It was 1,000 kilometers away.
Wow.
They forced him to go to the Indian residential school. More than 150,000 of us children had to go.
Wow, 100. I didn't even remember it was 150,000. This is kind of one of the dark moments. Like there's no getting around it. This is like a super dark moment in Canadian history. But at the same time, I literally learned that Canada created a whole day, Orange Shirt Day, in remembrance of this travesty, honestly, to these people. Which is great, you know. Terrible that this happened, and it's good that there's like modern day Canada like owns up to it, acknowledges it, wants to learn from it. It's called the Day of Truth and Reconciliation, right?
They wanted to change us.
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name.
Hallowed be your name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
Kill the Indian and the child.
Wow.
It's been called cultural genocide.
Whoa. They're not even showing that much. They're not even showing like the actual brutality of what would happen. Like in an unsupervised system like this meant to like totally strip away their culture. So they cut their hair, like just the, you know, you can go on and on about the cruel, demeaning treatment here, cutting their hair, which I know is part of their culture, like trying to teach them a different religion, which is again not part of their culture, and this boy's refusing to do it, and they're throwing him in a room and not even showing what probably actually happened.
Called cultural genocide.
Wow.
I survived residential school. My brother Chanie did not.
Oh, his brother did not. Yeah. There you go.
Chanie Wenjack was one of thousands of children who
Oh my God, what an image right here. My God. Powerful. Very powerful, though.
died due to Canada's residential school system. More than 80,000 survivors and their families still live with its legacy today.
Oh my God. That was dark. Because it was dark. You know, no getting around it. Yeah, that's a part of Canadian history. Just like the bright light of the Canadian liberation of the Netherlands. This is like a dark, dark, dark part of Canadian history Americans don't know about either. So there's stuff about Canada, both amazing and terrible, in its history that Americans don't know about. And obviously, you know, I'm not here to preach about right and wrong. America has certainly had its, oh my God, more than fair share of dark moments in our history as well, certainly. And I actually admire Canada making an effort, seemingly making a concerted effort to own up to this and try to make it as right as you can, you know? Children died, so there's no really making it, like, whole. But you can do what you can try. You can try to do what you can do. And that's what it appears Canada is trying to do in the modern day, which is nice. So let's continue. Man, didn't expect... This is just a roller coaster of emotions today. And we're going to end it with one more Heritage Minute. Jacques Plante, which sounds French to me. Jacques Plante, hockey goaltender. 1929. He began playing goal for a factory team in Shawinigan. Played junior for the Quebec Citadels before turning pro with the Royals at 22. Nice. There he is. All right. Is this just about Jacques Plante? Like, was he a really, really good player? Is this just emphasizing his career? One of the outstanding goalies of his time. Nice. The first to wear a mask regularly. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, to think about that, there was a time when, like, football players didn't wear pads or masks. Hockey, probably, like, he has pads on there and a mask. Didn't have a mask. Oh my God. Now I'm really starting to think about this. Didn't have a mask in hockey as the goaltender? Probably didn't have any teeth as well by the end of it. Okay, let's take a look at Jacques Plante, Heritage Minute. Oh, this is an older one. Very good. Oh. Wait, what was this? What? Not. These Heritage Minutes are taking me by surprise today. Oh my God. I love taking a look at some of the older ones as well. This is clearly an older Heritage Minute. The filming style has changed a lot over the years. They are not pulling any punches or pucks here today. So he got drilled in the face with a puck. Just what I was worried about. And no face mask. Oh my God. No wonder he started wearing a face mask, right? Oh my God. Oh my God, they're literally wheeling him out on a gurney.
Go.
You can't do this, Jacques. It's never been done before.
Mr. Blake.
You can't see down with that thing.
Mr. Blake.
Jacques, what?
What?
They're coming.
Hold him up. Find something. Jacques, I'm telling
Is this guy getting mad that Jacques is gonna put on a face mask? Literally 2 minutes after getting drilled in the cheek with a puck? He's like, Jacques, think about this for a second. And Jacques' like, I can't think right now. My cheek is swollen, bigger than my head.
you for the last time.
Are the Canadians finished? Is Plant coming back on the ice?
Come on, give us something, will you?
How many stitches?
Gentlemen, please.
Is this gonna turn into a big story? Was it that weird to want to protect your face?
On November 1st, 1959, Jacques Plante of the Montreal Canadiens broke with tradition
You're a brave man, Mr. Plant, standing up to him like that.
and changed the face of hockey forever.
Oh my God, he is bandaged up. I might have broke his nose. I'm not sure.
Like that.
And changed the
And is he actually about to get back in there? Dang, respect.
face of hockey forever.
There he is. Did he just get hit in the face again? But he's got his serial killer Jason Voorhees hockey mask on. Nothing can hurt him now. Yeah. Oh my. Okay. Well, this is an interesting one. I was not expecting this angle. This kind of part of Canadian history. Yeah, Jacques Plante. Very, very important part of Canadian history. Hockey is such an important part of Canadian culture, Canadian sports. The fact that he played a part in kind of destigmatizing personal protection and face masks, because at the time, I'm guessing it wasn't cool or whatever, or they thought you can't see as well, or whatever the reason. And I feel like evolutions in safety like this have happened, like in many sports. There was a long time in cars where, seatbelts didn't exist and stuff like that. And now we look back in hindsight and where we can't even believe that people didn't wear masks or didn't wear seatbelts. And it's actually pretty interesting because this exact topic is pretty relevant right now. With in recent memory, that hockey player who, very sadly died recently because he got his throat cut by the blade on a hockey skate during a game. And it begs the question, will throat protection become more standardized in hockey and all that? I know they were starting to talk about that kind of thing, but it's interesting how history kind of repeats itself or becomes relevant again. You know, that was kind of a thing not too long ago now. So anyway, these were really, really, really great Heritage Minutes today for 3 different reasons. I enjoyed all 3 of these Heritage Minutes. They cover such a vast array and variety of Canadian history and Canadian culture and Canadians, famous people from Canada doing stuff. And I really, really enjoyed this, actually. I got a lot out of these today. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your thoughts on any of these Canadian Heritage Minutes. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.